name is Kristy Jane, and I'm this week's studio visit artist for I Like Your Work. I'm currently located in North Alabama, where I mostly paint. I have two primary studio locations. One is at my home in Huntsville. It's a little more private. It's kind of my think tank, my incubator. And this one here in Athens is more for getting down to business. I am originally from Long Island, New York, and I moved around a lot growing up. And I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts at the University of South Alabama in Mobile, with primary concentration in printmaking and secondary in photography. I then started a family, raised a whole person, and then went back to school to get my MFA during the unprecedented times at the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts in Philadelphia. I got an MFA in painting there, and I am currently a studio art instructor at a local university. So I'll studio all the time. So I have three primary working modes. This is an example of the slowest journey of them all, where I will have a spark of an idea and I will just start. And I won't have a clue where it's going to end up. It's a whole journey. And so I let just one decision lead to the next, and I don't stop until I get some sort of complete unknown feeling about it, where like I've resolved everything to its ultimate complication. People will ask me what is going on in this painting right here, because there's just so much. And it's like, well, what do you know about framing devices and Magritte and Derrida? And what do you know about Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain and recordings and disembodied voices? And what do you know about the vulnerability of my throat? What do you know about, sword swallowing, etc.? What do you know about being a she-wolf or a milkmaid? What do you know about Mara Oppenheim and when a third hand enters your work? What do you know about service and Merritt's fur teacup and spoon? I have some whispers here of some Jasper Johns. I have some whispers of Joseph Albers. It started out as a body print, and then it just kept going and kept going and kept going. The short answer is it's about seduction. And that's really where I probably should just stop. That's what they all are about. They're paintings. How can they be anything else? So, but this little selection here, I've got some older work where, this kind of came before this, and then came this, and then came that. But they were all in the studio at the same time, and so they influenced each other, as well as all these objects in the background. And so some of the colors come from what was behind it while I was painting it. And then that led to a need to resolve and then an answer. So that's one of the modes, and it's a pretty fun one, but it's a very slow, very long investigation journey. So that pink painting is about so much. When I was working on it, I was experimenting with airbrush for the first time, and so I was actually painting with these dangerous droplets. I had to wear PPE while I do it. Here's my little mask, that I wear, and really started to have this material connection to what was on in my mind, right? We were dealing with COVID and this like abstract concern, and also the material needs, and it was influencing the work, and it has become part of my operating system ever since. I'm still dealing with the airbrush and this like jumping into the canvas, and what that is for me. I tend to lean into what is embarrassing. And so right now, what is the most embarrassing is this one. And I then had an experience the following weekend after starting this where I took a quilting workshop in Gee's Bend, Alabama, and I started working on this quilt top, and I was sitting in the same position as in the painting, like this, right? So it looks really pornographic up there, right? But then when you see me just quilting in that same position, it means something totally different. And so there's my first complication. I also am using this color chart, I teach color theory. And so I have this color chart that I want to incorporate. So I got my 3 things. I had made these listening devices, these horns. So that's my next slow one, and I'll just keep running with it until it's satisfied. So the other 2 modes that I have of working are one works on paper, still life and mono prints, things that I can do pretty impulsively, quickly. I'll just go, and then reading tea leaves, I'll figure out what it means after the results are in. And then I also have this 3rd mode, which is a planned painting. And so I will either set something up or have a photograph that I took out in the wild, and I will do a drawing off of that reference. I will do a color chart. I will plan the materials and plan the layers and all that, and then work until it shows up for me. And usually, I allow some unexpected things in there because one of my favorite bits of advice that really motivates my studio practice is from Katie Baldwin, who told me that I just had to be the most Kristy I can be. And as relieving as that feels, sometimes it can feel like a free fall, and so I have the plan. So I have all these different working modes, for all the different incongruent parts of myself. Thank you so much for touring my studio with I Like Your Work. You can find more of my work at KristyJane.art, on Instagram with at Kristy Jane Says. And if you really want to see glimpses of my home studio and how the sausage gets made and watch me go to the bathroom and stuff, you can follow my YouTube channel, which is at Kristy Jane 5481. And of course, read the full interview about my practice on ILikeYourWorkPodcast.com/studio visit artist. Thanks.